In just over 2 months, I went from 198 pounds with barely any muscle to speak of to shredded at 175 with tons of muscle. How did I do this? Well, I'm going to share the secrets of my first successful fat loss diet and transformation with you today, including my plan, key lessons learned, and hopefully give you some inspiration to go on your own fat loss journey. Now, there's a key distinction between a weight loss and fat loss diet. In fat loss, your goal is not just to lose mass, but to retain as much muscle as possible. So if you're just trying to lose weight, you might cut down your food and call it a day. But in a fat loss diet, you don't want your body to take away your hard-earned muscle to just get rid of because it's trying to get some energy somewhere. So you need to both have a really well-optimized diet with a lot of protein and a really tight workout plan so that you're sending as many signals as possible to say, hey, that muscle is here to stay. In bodybuilding terms, this is commonly referred to as a cut. The foundational principles of a cut are an effective diet and weight loss program. So let's dive into each of them. For my diet, I had the philosophy of let's try to eat a relatively high amount so that I can retain muscle and possibly build it. Because as a beginner in the gym, your body really wants to grow muscle. So starting on September 10th, I ate about 2,300 calories during the weekdays and 1,800 on the weekend. 1,900 on the weekend at the beginning, with roughly 230 grams of protein during the week and 200 on the weekends. You might be wondering, for someone who is weighing 198 pounds, where did my energy deficit come from? Well, it mainly came from pushing it really hard in the gym. So my second component of my plan was not just a really locked-in diet, eating consistently during the week, but a rigorous exercise schedule that I stuck to religiously. So since September 10th, that starting point, I went to the gym every single day, and I have the logs to prove it here. I would do strength training, which is weightlifting, 6 times a week, and I would run a 4-mile run every single day. On top of that, I would get about 10,000 steps a day early on, ratcheting that up even higher as the program went on. So you can see there is this elegant combination between my diet, where I ate a little bit less than I would need to maintain my weight, but I really pushed it on my exercise. Here are the results. Once again, it ended up working out, and I can credit that a lot to being a beginner in the gym. So in just 2 months, I was able to build muscle. The chances are you're in a pretty similar position where even if you're eating in an energy deficit to lose weight, if you rigorously apply locking in diet and weight training, as I did with my 2-month program, you'd be able to achieve similar results. I think that there are some even more important lessons just about fat loss dieting philosophy I encountered along the way that are critical if you are going to be successful. The first of which is planning beats everything. There was never a single day in my fat loss diet where I had to make a reactive decision. The day before or even weeks before, I knew what I was going to eat. If I thought I needed to adjust my calories, as I did bring my calories down, I pondered that the day before, thought about the strategy, and then executed. There was never a moment where I was thinking, oh, I might have a snack, because it wasn't in my plan. Having an effective plan and sticking to it and just locking in is going to be a key driver of your success. In a fat loss diet, you want to be proactive with the decisions made for you and not reactive, having to come up with what exactly to eat when you're in a really tired and exhausted state. The second thing I think that was exceptionally helpful was I really focused on my sleep. I had all my caffeine no later than about 5 a.m., so that was just 1 cup of coffee, and that made it so that by the time 8 p.m. rolled around, oh my God, I was dead as a dog tired, and I was able to get an excellent night of rest. See, sleep is critical for building muscle and also taking away from fat. If you don't get enough sleep, your body actually cannibalizes muscle. Likewise, if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to start getting groggier, you're going to have less energy, less enthusiasm for your diet. And geez, in a fat loss diet, it's kind of like a house of cards, right? Where you pull out the wrong card and all of a sudden, all of that discipline and enthusiasm you have goes away. And you're thinking about the fine delicacies of Taco Bell or Papa John's or whatever your favorite thing is. Oreos for me, I'm a big fan of. So sleep is very critical. You need to incorporate that into your plan and treat it very proactively. And then finally, I tried to identify with the person I was trying to become. Even though I'd never fully been someone super healthy in terms of my diet or in terms of exercise, I just tried to adopt the principles of how that person would live and align sort of my beliefs with how that person would act. That was able to help me stay away from cravings because it didn't become something that I naturally wanted. Because of that process of self-identification. If you see yourself as, this killer in the gym, you're putting in all this effort, it's easy to start seeing yourself as someone who's making really good choices and for that to keep propelling you on your diet. No fat loss journey is easy. I had to make adjustments to my diet along the way. I had to make adjustments to my training. Maybe I'll talk about in a different video what I learned about my weight training program and how you can apply it. But ultimately, I stuck with it because I had a strong plan. I used the basic principles of high protein, energy deficit diet, combine it with a lot of strength training and a good amount of cardio to create that deficit. And the fat flew off, the muscle came on, and I'm super happy and satisfied. I hope that this can give you some inspiration and lessons you can apply to your own fat loss diet. And if you're interested and you're a beginner to this whole fat loss idea, I've created a free beginner 5-step fat loss program on my website, which does not require a gym membership. It doesn't require a fancy diet. Fat loss is a skill, and I believe you can learn it starting with these 5 easy steps. And if you're interested in even more, you can reach out to me for some coaching for a successful fat loss journey of your own.